few days ago, my 20-year-old DeWalt 733 planer gave up the ghost. After exhaustive testing and diagnostics, I've determined that the field windings are open, and that just means I need to get another planer. So I decided to repurpose this one as a veneer press, or small parts press for gluing boards. I've taken it apart, cleaned it. I didn't bother showing all the disassembly, it's just basically taking nuts and screws and bolts off. Some of them are pretty hard, I had to use a lot of force, but they came out. And so this will just concentrate on building the press and probably use the CNC. And I'll probably put this piece back on because I don't believe glue will stick to that very well. Other than that, I'll put the top back on, and not much else will go on it. It's a whole lot lighter now, that's for sure. So I have some extra pieces that I can use later for some things. Cutter head, rollers. I might build a 12-inch joiner. That's what I need. Anyway, I'll get started. Okay, it's all back together. Top's on, chains on the bottom. The screws are put back in, and it works very smoothly. I didn't show the reassembly because it's just really putting parts back together. And I'll probably put some double stick tape on this just to keep it in place. And one thing I did that made the reassembly easier, on the bottom I put some marks on the sprockets and the shafts to indicate where they were lined up, and these marks were lined up with this rib. And so now that I went to put these back together, I put them in the exact same spot, and it was very easy to get them timed so that the platen is level. That helped considerably. Also, I like it that I can pick it up that easy now. I don't know what it weighs, 25, 30 pounds, not 85 like it did. So now what I need to do is make a platen to go right up under here. Make this out of wood. And there's some places I can fasten them to those holes and these holes, and that should give me a good level surface. I'll use some 3/4 inch material, probably just plywood. So that's the next step. I need to transfer this hole pattern to a template so that I can drill them in the correct places, drill the holes. And I can measure them easily enough, but I thought I'd try something. I'll put this piece of paper over and see if I can't just make an impression, because I'll drill the holes slightly oversized anyway. We'll see if that works. As long as this is straight on this edge, that gives me a good reference point. And I can make an impression that way. And that should be good enough. I've done more accurate things in my life, but I think that will suffice. Matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. I've got a shorter pencil. Yes, I do. I have a shorter pencil. Even better. There you go. All marked. Okay, I've marked the center of this board, and I've laid this out with lines here and the center, so I know that's the center between that pattern. So I will put this in the center. That's in the center there. Okay, I've got the board centered on the planer, on the veneer press. And one thing I knew I'd have to do is cut relief for this area right here, so I'll mark that. And I'll cut this out with plenty of relief, so I won't have to do it twice. Cut all the relief, and now it fits on there pretty good. A lot of cuts, but they didn't intend for this to be flat, so I wasn't surprised. Anyway, now I'll put the screws in and see how it does. I thought I'd do a little test to see how much pressure this puts on whatever I might glue, and the only way I know to do it is with bathroom scales. So I don't know if this is going to work very well. That's pretty tight. Well, that's all the way to 300 pounds. I don't know what that correlates to in pounds per square inch. Tell you what, let me regroup and I'll try it with some clamps and we'll compare it. Not quite as much. I can make it bounce up to 300, but it's hovering around 260, and that's squeezed pretty hard. Let me switch out to some other clamps, some F-style clamps. I suspect these will exceed the squeeze clamps. Oh yeah, easily. I don't want to break the scales, but we've already gone around. We'll just assume this will go a whole lot more. But that would be 340 and real easy to just keep going. Nobody in this house weighs over 165. So it's kind of pointless to ever make it go that high. All right. Well, I'm pleased with that. That'll work for veneer and small pieces, apparently with plenty of power to clamp and get some good glue squeeze out. I think this was a pretty useful repurposing of a tool that served me well for 20 years. And gonna, I guess, go on for another 20. Don't know if I will, but we'll see if it does. Subscribe. I got more stuff coming. I have no idea what it'll be, but thanks for watching.